Hey, what's up, BCC? I'm Pastor Aaron.
Hey, I'm Pastor Mark.
It's great to be with you for a Sunday Rewind, the last one before Easter.
Yes.
And
it's here, man.
I know. This is like
Super Bowl of the church life.
It is. This is incredible. Like, I feel like maybe we should tailgate this week somewhere. That'd be amazing. Like, why are you guys out in the parking lot with the
tailgate.
grill?
I love it, man.
We're excited about Easter, man. Yeah, that'd be awesome. No, we're
tents, man. Set it up. I love it.
Yeah, but we are, as you can tell, we're excited about Easter coming this Sunday. But yesterday we celebrated Palm Sunday, and that's an exciting Sunday as well. It kind of kicks off Holy Week, and we commemorate the triumphal entry and talk about all of that. But a great service yesterday. Pretty unique things happened. We talked about the Lord's Supper, the Last Supper, and we had the communion table up on the platform. So I'm sure people immediately when they walked in the room were like,
what in the world's
going on?
Yeah.
What's going on? So Pastor Mark walked us through what that Seder meal would have looked like and the different elements of that. And it was an awesome service. And if you weren't here, you need to go on the website, check out the sermon, listen to it. There's a whole lot there that we don't have time for in this video, but there's a whole lot there that you can get into. But just as a quick recap, kind of what was the kind of takeaway points from yesterday?
Well, so the Seder meal is an invitation. Like when Jewish folks celebrate the Seder, they tell the story of the Exodus and God's people. And so as I think about that whole event, I mean, what we're doing is we're inviting people around the table into that story. And so, I think that is the beauty of what happens when we gather in communion. It is the Passover story in light of Christ. And this is not just the story of the Israelites. This is now the story that the world is invited to participate. So through Christ, the world is invited to participate in the story of redemption. God has brought his people out of slavery into freedom. And through Christ, we have the opportunity to participate in that as well. Can I confess one thing? I was so uncomfortable yesterday doing that, just going through the different elements of the Seder, because it is a distinctively Jewish tradition.
Right. And
I wanted to be sure that I got it right. And so it is.
Did it justice,
Yeah, did it justice. So, anyway, I think we got through it, and I think we were faithful to that tradition. However, those of you that are more familiar with the Seder meal, yesterday was like Seder light.
Right. Yeah.
It wasn't the full kind of Seder experience. Seder means order.
Right.
And so if you ever have a chance to participate in a traditional Jewish Passover, please take that opportunity. Because there is an order to this meal, and everything has its place, and there's significance to everything you eat, and it's really cool. But for Christians, we can think about all those different elements in light of Christ, and it really helps us understand the Lord's Supper. But we are invited in that story. How cool is that? So cool,
so cool. It's one of my favorite things about this week is we get to talk about this story that is our story. And lots of times we read these stories in the Bible and in Scripture, and we kind of view them as just a Bible story. But the reality is that that's our story, and we get to take part of that. We're invited to that. We're invited to have a seat at that table.
Yes.
And it's
through Christ.
Man, what an amazing thing. So we talked about the Seder meal, and that happened on Thursday of Holy Week, and we're getting ready this week. We won't have Wednesday night services because we are going to be looking at and remembering Christ's death on Friday, Good Friday, this week, and that's going to be at 6:30 right here in the sanctuary, and you're going to want to make sure that you're here for that service. It's a unique experience.
It's like the Seder in that there is certain things you do on Good Friday, and it certainly feels different. I mean, at the end of the service, you leave feeling the death of Jesus.
Right. Most services that we have, there's a resolution to the service, and you walk away feeling uplifted and encouraged, or hopefully you do. And this is not one that you walk away feeling like everything's great. This is one you walk away from in a very reflective state.
But you know, like as the person responsible for my children and their spiritual development, like I want them to feel that.
Yeah.
You know, they love coming to church and they celebrate and they, you know, are plugged into all the exciting things that are happening. But this is one time a year I want them to come in. I want them to feel that disorientation of Christ's death. And they need to feel it. We need to feel that.
Absolutely, absolutely. I remember walking out of those services in years past, and just, you know, there's people out in the lobby, but you don't really you don't really know whether you should even talk to them or not.
Yeah.
Like it just feels odd. It feels weird to to carry on with life. But you know, it's a great experience. We want you to be there 6:30. Come and join us for that. And then,
hey, funny story about Good Friday, by the way.
Oh, go ahead.
At one church that I served, we had ordered all these Easter lilies, and for the first year we were doing a Good Friday service. They had not traditionally done them, and so the Easter lilies are delivered on Friday. And so I got there early to set up for the Good Friday service. I was the associate pastor, and these Easter lilies were everywhere. And so I spent 30 minutes getting all the Easter lilies out of the sanctuary.
Right.
We had to pause that. Like, those are for Sunday.
Right.
There will be no Easter lilies in the service on Friday night.
That's right. That's right. But on Easter Sunday morning, this Sunday, we will be back here. We will be celebrating the resurrection of Christ. And that's the beauty of this, is we know the end of that story.
Yeah.
I guess that is the uplifting and encouraging thing about leaving on Friday, is, you know, in 2 days, in 3 days, you get to come back and celebrate the resurrection.
Yep.
And so that's going to be happening here on Sunday morning at 9 a.m. and 10:45. There's 2 opportunities for you to come and worship. Bring your family. It's going to be a great day in the Lord. It looks like the weather's going to be awesome, but you know, it's Northwest Arkansas, so that changes. But regardless, last year it was like freezing cold. I remember that too. But man, we're going to have a photo booth set up out there for families to take a picture, and we're going to have some goodies in the cafe to be able to come and enjoy some time eating together and just fellowshipping with one another.
And one thing we're doing, and just be mindful of this, especially if you have young children, there will be kids' church at both times.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to worship with our kids in one service, and then they're going to go to kids' church in the other. So your kids can have sort of both experiences.
Yeah.
So they can have that experience with you. We're together on Easter Sunday. And then, you know, they can go to kids worship.
And that's for sure for those of you that are serving. You know, that's an option for you for those 2 service times.
I want us to think about this too. We often think about bringing kids in with us, but Pastor Diane and I were talking, sometimes it's important for adults to go with kids.
Yeah.
So this is a chance for some of you to maybe do that. Go to kids worship with them.
And I think that communicates to them that, hey, this environment's important. And it's just as important as what's happening in the worship center every Sunday. So absolutely take advantage of that. But please come, be a part, invite your friends, share the event on Facebook. There's an event created. We want people here to celebrate the resurrection of Christ. Not because we want tons and tons of people, but because we want to share the good news of Christ. This is urgent. This is an urgent message that everyone needs to hear. And, you know, we talked...
Don't take for granted that people know it already.
Right.
I mean, seriously, like, we just in the church where we take that for granted. Like, don't
take that for granted.
Our culture is moving more and more away from, you know, this story, and I mean, maybe people have heard of Jesus, but do they understand the real significance of this day and what it's all about? So invite them, bring them on.
You know, we talked about a couple years ago. We talked about how, you know, if everyone in the city of Bentonville chose to go to church, that if Bentonville, if everybody in Bentonville just decided to go to church on Easter Sunday, we wouldn't have enough space in all of our churches.
Not enough services, not enough space.
So there's plenty of room. We want you to come. We want people to hear the good news of Christ, and that's important. That's the most important thing, the most important message they could ever hear in their life. So please invite your friends, get them here, and it's an easy invite. It's one of the easiest invites you will have. Hey, there's other things going on in the life of our church as well. The following Sunday, as a response kind of coming out of Easter, we're having a celebration Sunday. So we're going to celebrate Easter, and then we're going to have a celebration Sunday for what God's doing in the hearts and lives of people in the story that's happening right now. And so if you're interested in baptism, please contact Kelsey in the church office or get in contact with one of us as pastors. We would love to help you out and get you set up to be baptized on April 28th. And it's going to be an awesome Sunday. It always is. I love celebration Sundays.
And can I tell you about something we're doing for the first time in May? Many of you know that the Bentonville Film Festival comes to our area in May. And so we're doing two things to try to participate in that energy that sort of comes to our community. The first of which is we're doing a sermon series in May that's all based on movies. So we're taking common films, popular films, and mining out some biblical truth. We're going to kick off with The Greatest Showman on the first Sunday in May.
Don't want to miss that one.
I'm excited about that. There's so much there.
That's like your favorite movie.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
My dream is to do a sing-along sometime. I would love to do that.
Got a big screen. That's all I'm just saying.
We could. We'll
you know?
see.
Hey,
don't miss the first
you want
Sunday
to come.
in May.
You want to be there first Sunday in May.
Yep. So every Sunday in May, we'll feature a movie and mine out some biblical truth from that film.
And that series is at the movies.
It's called At the Movies.
Absolutely.
So that's the sermon series, and that's a really cool thing to invite friends to. But then during the actual film festival, on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, May 8, 9, and 10, we're showing 3 films in their entirety. And those 3 films will also be featured in our sermon series. But on Wednesday, we're showing Christopher Robin, and that'll be a family movie night, and that's at 6 p.m. On Thursday, we're showing a movie featuring Reese Witherspoon. It's called The Good Lie, and it's a story of a refugee resettlement agency and how they've welcomed people and some of those challenges and some of the cool stuff that happens there. And then on Friday, there's a movie called The Case for Christ that is the story of journalist Lee Strobel and how he was an atheist and he set out to disprove Christianity and the resurrection. And you'll just have to come on Friday to figure out how the story ends.
Absolutely.
So I'm really excited about that series of movies that we're calling Films of Faith.
Yeah.
So they're free, childcare is available, free popcorn, beverages.
Limited childcare.
Yes.
You have to register for childcare.
Yeah, register so we know who's coming.
Right.
But looking forward to Films of Faith.
It's going to be awesome. I'm so excited about it. And this is another event. Like we just talked about Easter and how it's an easy invite. This is another event where if you have a friend that's unchurched or that doesn't know the Lord, man, invite them to a movie at the church. Like that's a pretty easy sell. Like, hey, it's free it's free, it doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
There's popcorn. There's plenty of seats. Like you can sit right by me. We can hang out and just have a night where we don't have to spend a ton of money to go to the movies.
$0 here.
Yeah, you just come and hang out. And what a great opportunity for you to share your faith by bringing them to the Films of Faith series here.
Yeah. So today we're building out the landing page on the website. We'll get that pushed out. You can use that landing page to share. We'll do events on Facebook. So just wanted to give you a heads up on that and be ready to share that and invite people.
Hey, as we approach the end of the Lenten season, it ends out officially on Easter.
Yeah.
As you know, we've been taking some time off of Facebook, and so you've been getting these videos via email rather than YouTube, rather than Facebook. But man, I'm really excited for getting back to Facebook, not because I'm necessarily looking forward to my time being sucked away, but because I'm looking forward to us not having to edit these videos and put them on YouTube.
Yeah.
And instead we could just do it directly on Facebook again.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's good. Hopefully your Lenten fast has gone well, and hopefully the Lord has spoken to you throughout this season. That's the goal, is that you're able to take something away, add something of value, and be able to spend more time with the Lord as we lead up to Easter. We're so excited.
It's gonna be great.
We're just pumped for Sunday, and we hope that you will join us for Easter Sunday.
Yep. So we'll see you Sunday, 9 and 10:45.
Peace.